You die once, and suddenly you're not invisible. Explore the story of Heed, who was a corpse for a while, but is back to life and trying to learn about just what had happened, only to discover the story is far stranger than that. Inspired by manga, Alter X Artifact is a new LGBTQ+ webcomic for mature readers revolving around magic and political espionage. This comic features fantastic elements, gripping storytelling, and impressive visuals that pull you into the strange but fascinating world of the comic. Alter X Artifact explores themes of magic, dreams, and relationships, all while deftly weaving a compelling mystery with eye-catching visuals. You're still in time to enjoy the exciting prologue as well, but you gotta hurry over on to the website. So, if you're looking for your next weekly webcomic read, you need to go to alterxartifact.com. That is alterxartifact.com. Now back to the show.
That time it worked. Speaking
Hooray
of
for small miracles.
Yeah, I know. And speaking of this time it working, I found my fucking articles this morning, and since they actually loaded on Mysterious Universe, I left the fucking tab open all day. Because goddamn have I learned my lesson. And speaking of learning, hello and welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin, and with me this week are Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how you doing?
Yeah, it just doesn't roll off the tongue as easily, does it?
What, just Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I need another name. I am no longer Kevin the Bastard.
Well, maybe we can what's that term? Like
workshop it?
Or outsource it to the listeners.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
What about Cryptid Kevin?
Ooh, I kind of like that, but I'll think about it. About it. I want to get some feedback from the Peanut Gallery first, though.
Okay.
Kevin the True Believer.
Oh, that's terrible. That's Kevin, the man who is extremely gullible. Let's just go with that. So, Mike, you doing okay, though, this week?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired.
Okay, that's fair. And we also have Mr. David Davis. David, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and I learned something about one of the freelancing gigs that I have.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
So, you know how I do, like, the AI testing and training and that sort of thing?
Yeah,
helping
you're
develop
talking to
these bots.
ChatGPT, right?
I just found out that the corporation that's doing the project that I'm working on is one of the biggest corporations on Earth. So I feel a little weird about it.
Oh wow, that's
Yep.
So
I am technically doing evil.
You should stop.
No, the money's too good.
Okay,
say that's unlike, so it's either Alphabet or Facebook or Meta. One of those two.
Well, we're not.
And I will say,
I know. I'm just saying.
Don't want to jeopardize
Jeopardize.
Jeopardize. Don't want to jeopardize.
That's someone else that needs the name too, David.
David the Davis.
there we
I know,
go.
it's weird. He's the only one that we say his last name.
I know. Well, it just people know who David is from his comics. So
It's also very alliterative, which rolls off the tongue. So
I mean, it was either going to be Mike the Skeptic or Mike NLN. So
like I said, I'm a man of mystery. Nobody knows who the fuck I am.
That's very true. And that's good because it is a week in weird and we're going to be talking about mysterious things.
No, just talk about weird things, dumb things.
Now, before we get going, do we have any things we want to mention right off the top? Any housekeeping? David, you got anything?
not really.
Okay, Mike, can you think of
some laundry and dishes, maybe.
Okay, that's fair. So we got nothing as far as that goes, but it's a week in weird, and since I was able to keep Mysterious Universe up,
Viagra.
yes, before they boot me out, do you guys mind if I go ahead and read my article?
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm going to start off. Bigfoot expedition to search in Thailand for the orang pendek.
Ooh.
You guys familiar with the orang pendek?
We've mentioned it before.
Right. So it's basically, it's not really a Sasquatch. It's like a small man-like creature with like orange hair. Its name derives from the same language as the orangutan, which orangutan is a forest person, and orang pendek, I believe, is like forest ghost or something along those lines. But the article is from mysteriousuniverse.org. It is written, of course, by Paul Seaburn.
Your doppelganger.
My doppelganger. I was waiting for that. So, when the conversation turns to bipedal ape-like creatures, Bigfoot is the 500-pound gorilla in the room. And I can't believe he said didn't say literally. But there are many similar cryptids as well, known in other countries and areas, and the Sasquatch is in North America. A good example is the orang pendek, the long-rumored small bipedal ape-like creature of Sumatra, Thailand, and other surrounding areas in Indonesia and Southeast Asia. Many people believe the orang pendek could even be a primitive human or part of a small lost culture which has managed to survive in the dense rainforests of these locales. Local beliefs are so strong and widespread that a new expedition was announced this week that will focus on searching for the orang pendek in Thailand. Bigfoot in Thailand, the definitive expedition, has the cooperation of the government of Thailand and has assembled a team of experts in Bigfoot searches and Thai folklore. The expedition is already controversial, though, because it is being led by Tom Biscardi, a cryptozoology researcher, film producer, and Bigfoot hunter who was involved in a couple of alleged Bigfoot captures which turned out to be hoaxes. I'll talk about that in a bit. Will this new expedition result in a real capture of an orang pendek for Biscardi? There's a website in the article. There's also a photo of what looks like a man in a gorilla suit in the forest on their website. So here's the deal. The problem with Tom Biscardi is everything he's ever done has turned out to be a hoax. Like he has said, he has caught a Bigfoot, and it turned out it was a hoax. And he said, no, it was this woman I was working with. She conned me. And then there was the two guys from Georgia that said they had the body of a Sasquatch that he was promoting. And it turned out to be a gorilla suit frozen in an ice block. And he was like, oh, they conned me. And I'm like, there's two common elements of this shit, motherfucker. And it's you. He also was selling tickets to a live stream of the capture of the Bigfoot. And George Norrie had to shame him into giving refunds.
God damn.
When George Norrie is your fucking, like, voice of reason, you're a piece of shit.
George Norrie is like the most fucked up Jiminy Cricket you could have.
I swear to God. Tell me some more about these ideas you have so I can talk you down. Yeah, no, it's just like not a thing you want. Holy crap. But yeah, no, they're going to go out to Thailand and he's going to have a dude in a gorilla suit is what this boils down to. And I was really interested in it thinking, it's not that big a deal, but then Biscardi suddenly throws this whole new slant, and it raises a question that I want to throw to you guys and hear your thoughts on this. Why is there so much hoaxing in the Bigfoot field? Like, why is it always somebody has a picture of somebody with a Chewbacca mask on? You know, why do they fake it and then say, I was doing it to draw attention so we can find the real Bigfoot? Why is it so prevalent in the Sasquatch hunting world as opposed to others?
I think why is it more prevalent is because it's probably easier. It doesn't take as much. Like faking like UFO and alien stuff would take a lot more, acumen a lot more
acumen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
acumen.
no, I totally agree. It's
Now,
easier to
why
do.
in general would you hoax? Is I think it's kind of like one of these like success treadmill things. It's like, you get some notoriety and some recognition, then all of a sudden, you have to produce. You have to produce. Well, you can't produce anymore. When you were not finding the real thing, the next best thing is to fake it.
Sure, I guess.
Well, it's also like short-term monetary gain as well. I mean, you
right.
mentioned it with the live streaming, like, oh, we're gonna go catch a humanoid, and we're live streaming, and you have to buy tickets to it.
Right.
Even if it ends up false, you still have the people who buy in. And I don't want to offend anyone, but usually people who like are serious believers in Bigfoot tend to be a little gullible.
A little bit.
They're good
no
marks.
offense, but
they're good marks.
But I also point to like things like the Theranos, the company that was trying to do the on chip like blood test everything. I'm 100% sure they were actually trying to do that. They were not setting out initially to scam investors, but they thought they could do it. And when they kept not getting, the results, are like, well, if we could just like string the investors on for a little longer, we'll finally crack it. So it's just that thing. It's
you think okay, Biscardi I think is a crook, but some of these guys, I think I agree with you. They're doing it to try to keep people interested until they can
yeah. I mean, I don't think
get the goods.
I think very few, at least I want to hope, very few people are maliciously, hoaxing. They're doing it for.
I think Biscardi is,
maybe.
But not all of them.
The other thing I'm thinking about is the scale of the hoaxing. So someone who's trying to drum up interest, like faking like tracks or something like that, something that is a little harder to verify,
sure.
Something that's a little more obtuse, like to a degree, like I can understand why you would do that, but it's when they put a dude in a fucking monkey suit that like anyone can look at it, anyone who looks closely enough realizes, well, this is fake, and yet they still commit to it.
Yeah.
Like what's going through their head at the time? That's the one that always throws me. It's like, are they that arrogant or...
who I could see trying a really good Bigfoot scam and getting away with it for about 6 months? Vince McMahon.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, like, David, you and me both we've got Vince McMahon on the brain right now because of Behind the Bastards. But Mike, you can agree to that, right? He's the kind of guy that would do like a Bigfoot storyline and take it completely seriously until the end of the storyline when they pull the mask off and it's like the return of Goldberg or something.
Just Vince like, that's a great physique there. You're gonna ring in the dimes.
I could totally see that, but or he could be the Bigfoot himself, just shaven,
doing his fucking walk.
Oh God, no,
walk,
man, I would love to see a Sasquatch walk with the Vince McMahon strut, that full body spasm that keeps him moving forward.
Starts walking through the woods, like his calf pops and he's on the ground. Like you remember that from that WWE clip where he like jumps onto jumps into the ring and then like his leg like gives out and he's just sitting against the edge of the ring, can't move.
Yeah, I just picture.
So good.
Oh God, just Bigfoot hits the ground and does like the Peter Griffith shin thing, yeah, that thing. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I know we've talked about like out of all the cryptids, Bigfoot may be the most likely to exist, but also the hoaxes are so obvious and entertaining. Like, I don't like a lot of UFO shows, but man, if I'm bored, I'll watch a shit out of a Bigfoot show.
Man, now I really want WWE to do a Sasquatch storyline.
Oh, the kayfabe would be amazing.
Yeah, that would have been something that like if Lucha Underground was still around, they would have fucking ran with that shit, man.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing about the orangutan deck. Back on the subject of that story that I find really interesting is, yeah, okay, a lot of scientists, most scientists, reputable scientists, are like, this is bullshit. But they also say the exact same thing about the orangutan.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and the mountain gorilla. Because the mountain gorilla, wasn't really discovered and taken seriously until what, like the 1920s. So, like, literally only 100 years ago.
Okay,
So,
wait.
like,
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is it orangutan or orangutan?
I've heard it. It depends on where you're from.
Yeah.
I've been saying it.
Orangutan.
Orangutan is the because sometimes there's a space. It's like orang, and then utan.
Why doesn't Tang have an orangutan as a mascot?
They did for a little bit.
They did?
They did.
The orangutan?
The orangutan, yes.
You're not pulling my leg here? This is a
not
real
shitting
thing?
you. It was in commercials sometime in the 2000s.
All right, I'm going to have to Google this and confirm.
That's when their slogan was, "It's a kick in the glass."
Okay, I'm Googling this right now. Holy fuck, you're right.
Fucking told.
This is so stupid. This is something that I probably saw as a child, and I like, what? Oh my god.
Here we are. Yep.
Maybe this is like a viral campaign to like bring it back.
Are you saying Biscardi's working with the Tang Corp? He's working with Big Orange.
So, some fucking poor Tang intern dressed in a monkey ghillie suit wandering around in the Indonesian forest.
Oh god, I love that idea. It turns out the entire thing is just a scam to sell powdered orange drinks.
It's just fucking Greg from Succession.
Oh Christ. Yeah, okay, I guess I'll do that, but like I don't feel safe. Just fucking do it, Greg. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah, Todd, there's just fucking do it, man. So that's my first story. I just thought y'all might get a kick out of the fact that the biggest hoaxer in the Bigfoot world is now looking for the orangutan deck. So
The Oran Pindick?
Man, I hope one meets you and rips your arms off for insulting this wang.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? If they find one and bring it back to our modern world and they don't name it Clyde, I'm just saying.
Well, it would be.
I'm with you.
It could go any which way but loose.
Oh, in any which way you can.
Mm-hmm.
So,
can I go?
Yeah, that's my story. That's my start-off story. So who wants to go next?
Can I go?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I got a fucked up one for us.
Oh, boy.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
This is from NBC News.
Okay, I'm not ready yet.
Oh, you and your fucking reputable news sources. Fucking mysteriousuniverse.org is too good for you.
New York fertility doctor accused of using own sperm dies when hand-built plane crashes.
Oh.
There's a whole fucking journey in that title.
Yeah. So I had heard about this. Like, I think I'd heard originally, like, the original case where, he had impregnated a bunch of ladies with his own sperm. But then I saw the headline I saw came from the opposite tack, which was homemade airplane crashes. Pilot is suspected, sperm doctor or whatever, or something like that.
Sperm doctor in color.
So the one I said, the article I read had the kind of opposite leaning of which way to emphasize.
Right. Which is the emphasis here? Is it the handmade plane that crashing, or is it the dude who probably impregnated a bunch of women with his own sperm?
A little of both. Yeah.
There's
either way you go, you win.
There's two big, I read a lot of sites that are more like car and tech leaning. So they
meanwhile, me and David are cum enthusiasts.
So that's you lean towards the cum.
That's our next T-shirt: Supernatural Selection cum enthusiasts.
Fucked up shit.
That's going to be really true after next week. I just need to say that.
That could be a tier of our Patreon.
Oh, man, we got to remake the logo.
The cheapest tier. So if you want to support us at the cheapest tier, you have to be known as a cum enthusiast.
That's the dollar level. Oh, my God. Yeah, you do get a shirt. It says Supernatural Selection on it, but it's written in cum.
It's just like a couple splatters in white that are just dripping down the chest.
Oh, and it glows blue in a black light.
You could use that. You could use that paintbrush that is glue. You ever saw that? You're a true artist. You haven't seen that? Someone made a set of like Adobe brushes. They are quote unquote glue.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Glue brushes. Like, how often do you have to paint glue?
I've done enough porn commissions to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those tools exist.
Yeah. So,
look, I'll draw whatever you want as long as you give me money. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So let me go ahead and read through this a little bit.
Please do.
Yates, New York. A New York fertility doctor who was accused of using his own sperm to impregnate several patients died over the weekend when the hand-built airplane he was in fell apart mid-flight and crashed, authorities said. Can you imagine that moment when the plane starts falling apart around you?
I can picture it animated by fucking Chuck Jones.
It's like Tears of the Kingdom when your construct starts falling apart.
It starts flashing green and then...
See, I'm just picturing Wile E. Coyote, like one thing flies off and he's like, whatever. Then just like more and more until he's just like got the wings tied to his arms, flapping furiously as he falls from the sky.
Now, on the one hand, like a man died, but on the other hand, this is just really funny.
Wow.
On the other hand, it's a terrible man that died.
So we don't know. He was accused. We don't know if he actually did.
Look, when all the kids come out looking like him, I think it's a fait accompli.
Right.
God, I just looked up the type of plane it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like a neat looking plane. It was designed in 1938. It's called a Whitman Buttercup.
Oh, God. Hang on, I gotta look this up. Is that like a Whitman sampler? Sort
of. I mean, so it was designed, as a easy to build yourself plane, but think about it. Yeah, in the 1930s. That's not a very high bar to
Okay, you want to know what this plane is, David?
Uh-huh.
You remember Commando Cody and the Radar Men from the Moon?
Uh-huh.
You remember every time there was a scene with a plane and it's like Commando Cody caught up to it and climbed in and then it's like, it's that exact plane.
It looks like someone made it out of cardboard boxes and spray painted it.
Like, is it kind of like how Sears used to sell house kits to people? Is it just like the Sears version of a plane kit?
Cheaper than that?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm going to send you a link so you can see.
I mean, it's really, looking at it, it's obviously the construction is like kind of a tube frame with, that they don't use I'm trying to think of what they use nowadays, not canvas, but some kind of, flexible material wrapped around it. I think it's usually like a kind of a plastic or something like that. But yeah, it's
David, there is a picture in host chat.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at pictures of it right now.
I like planes. It is not a handsome plane.
No, it's not. And the fact that this guy went down in a handmade plane reminds me of John Denver because, he built his plane. But it wasn't one of these.
Mm-hmm. No, there's plenty of people building planes.
John Denver built like a neat plane.
Here's the thing.
I do have a quick update. Holly just handed me a handwritten note in quotes that says, "Come connoisseurs."
Oh man, I thought this was going to be like
the conversation.
Okay. Can you do that again? But go with this just in.
This just in. I was just received. Shit, I can't do it. Okay, wait. This just in. I just received a note from the staff here. It says, "Come commissioner." What? I'm sorry. I'm out of it.
That's okay. We're all tired.
Yeah.
Fucked it all up.
This is why we do this at night.
God damn it. We'll fix it in post.
Nope. It's staying in, buddy. I am post.
We need the
Yeah.
So Cum freak dies in flying lawnmower.
The pilot also died, unfortunately, which is sad.
Oh God, he wasn't even flying it.
Oh, I thought he.
Man.
So wait a minute. Did he
this
build
is
it?
worse.
Yeah, here, let me go ahead and read a little bit more of
Yeah,
this.
please do. I'm sorry. We've been interrupting with jokes about a cum man dying.
Okay. Dr. Morris Wortman, which hell of a last name.
Oh God.
Yeah.
72 of Rochester was
Wait,
a passenger
72?
It was a passenger in the experimental aircraft that went down Sunday in a pasture in Orleans County. The pilot, Earl Luce Jr. of Brockport, was also killed, according to the county sheriff.
Man.
They mentioned it was a Whitman W5 Buttercup airplane. Preliminary findings indicate the wings of the aircraft became detached from the fuselage and fell to the ground in an orchard. The fuselage continued west another 1,000 to 1,500 yards before crashing. Jesus Christ.
There was a lot of screaming.
Right. Wortman was a well-known OBGYN in Western New York who was often the target of anti-abortion protesters. He was sued in 2021 by the daughter of one of his patients who became pregnant in the 1980s. The lawsuit said that the doctor secretly used his own sperm while telling the patient the donor had been a local medical student. It said the doctor kept the secret even after the daughter, his biological offspring, became his gynecology patient.
Ew.
The daughter discovered that Wortman was the donor after DNA genealogy tests revealed she had at least 9 half-siblings, her medical malpractice suit said. Oh my God, that's crazy.
That's like how they caught the Euron, the original Night Stalker.
This is like a Wonder Ball of a news story.
Yeah.
Like, the Nestle Wonder Ball, the chocolate shell, the little sweet tarts in the middle. Yeah. So what's the chocolate shell in this story and what's the sweet tart?
Oh, the plane, obviously, because it broke.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
My sympathies to the pilot, though, because damn.
Yeah, no. Pilot is completely innocent in all this, except for making a shitty plane.
So I was going to say, it's a hand-built plane, and I'm assuming the pilot made it, because it must have been
We don't know. Building your own plane seems like something a shitty doctor would do.
But he's 72.
I don't
think he's building a plane at 72. It's more likely someone he knew that was like, hey, come fly on my plane. And it probably wasn't like newly built either. It probably was built like, 2 decades ago and, just never was maintained and the wings fell off because, lack of maintenance.
That's bad when that happens, man. I'm just saying.
It just seems to me like it's the doctor's project and he hired someone else to fly it for him.
Either way, I feel bad for the pilot.
Yeah. But I think if you're building a plane, you're going to want to fly it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But he was also 72. We don't want more Harrison Fords out there.
Yeah.
Again, I just keep thinking about like JFK Jr. And John Denver.
Yeah, that's right. But Harrison Ford survived a plane crash.
Harrison Ford.
He survived several, hasn't he?
Gravity wants that man dead.
I only know of the one.
No, he went down in a helicopter too, I think.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to have to Google how many plane crashes Harrison Ford has been in.
How many planes must die for this man to get the point?
I'm Googling. Continue to discuss amongst yourself.
Well,
I don't know. You said earlier, Mike, you said, come fly with me. Do you think at any point he said, fly, come with me? I'm sorry.
Cry havoc and let come the sperm of war. I don't know.
I'm counting at least 4.
4. Holy shit, man! Stay out of the air.
Wait, was he pilot on all of those?
I don't know. I've got.
He's an avid pilot.
Well, I know he's an avid.
A website called airsafe.com that lists plane crashes involving actor Harrison Ford. He has his own fucking page on the website.
Oh my god! Look.
So there was one in February 2017 in Santa Ana, California. All right, I'm scrolling down the list here. A lot of information on it. June 18th of 2000 in Lincoln, Nebraska. 23rd of October 1999 in Santa Clarita, California. And I'm missing one on here, but yeah, there's.
Well, does it at any point count that inflatable raft from Temple of Doom?
Okay, so
there was one in 2015 in Santa Monica. There we go. That's 4.
Okay.
So there's a 1999 emergency landing in a riverbed, but that was during his training, so that wasn't his fault.
Yeah, but I think he took away the wrong lesson from that, apparently.
I can survive anything.
Yeah, or this is how you land a plane, right?
Well, he had been learning. No, he had been learning. It was this was the helicopter, and the instructor took over and hastily landed in a dry riverbed.
Well, that's a helicopter, not an airplane.
Yeah.
It's still it's still.
I'm talking about 4 distinct airplane crashes here.
One of in the 2001. The 2001, he was blown off of a runway by a gust of wind. So that's an act of God.
That's an act. Look, I kind of feel like the airplanes are an act of God, or at least the God of gravity saying, "Stay down."
It's just every time he steps onto a tarmac, he looks at a plane and goes, "It belongs in a junk heap."
In 2001, he rescued a Boy Scout who had been missing.
I remember that.
Like, no, that's cool as shit, but also maybe he shouldn't be in planes anymore.
19 hours. Look, if a Boy Scout cannot survive for 19 hours by themselves, shouldn't be called a Boy Scout.
Yeah, okay, but man,
okay, so he crash landed into a golf course. That's one I really remembered.
Yep.
In 2015.
I'm just gonna say, if I'm getting on an airplane and I see Harrison Ford in a seat, I'm getting off the airplane.
It's like 2017.
2017, he landed on a taxiway instead of a runway. So, in an airport, you have the runway, which is where you're supposed to land. And next to it, you have another lane just for taxiing.
That's just the road for the planes that haven't taken off yet. Yeah. I've been on those.
So, yeah, he landed on the taxiway, which happens, unfortunately, a lot at small airports.
Right, because, reasons.
I don't know. Having one mishap when you're flying is something that I feel like I would reconsider things. But the minute you have 4, I'm just like,
So, yeah, I mean, in general, when you're just a normal civil aviation pilot, when you have a problem like that, they're going to review your license. Yeah. I do imagine that being Harrison Ford, you have some, bureaucrat going, well, I'm not going to reject Harrison Ford's license.
Sure. Indiana Jones will punch me.
Yeah.
It'll be like that scene in Raiders when he punches the Nazi into the blade.
Yeah, it'll be like that scene in Raiders with the guy with the sword.
One of the many great scenes in Raiders, like when he shot the dude with the scimitar.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about when the Nazi gets caught in the blade of the plane.
Yeah, that too. You know who I bet will be a really good pilot? Steve Buscemi.
I thought you were going to say Chewbacca.
Okay, fair, but compared to Harrison Ford, yes. Oh, wait, no, the orang pendek.
There you go.
Yeah. So this guy, I feel bad for the pilot, but but this dude was like 72 and possibly a piece of shit.
So yeah, and I can't really feel too bad for the pilot because if okay, going on my assumption.
There's a lot of ifs.
If the pilot was, in fact, the builder of the plane.
That's on him.
Yeah, he should have been, keeping the plane up better, because the wings don't just fall off of a perfectly
that's a
good
terrible
airplane.
Design for an airplane with wings just attached like that.
That is negligence. That's like, if I do some tire stuff on my car or truck, and the wheels fall off while I'm driving.
That's on you.
I have no one to blame but myself. I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, the lug nuts were bad."
But it's more survivable than the wings falling off of a fucking plane.
But were they attached with Velcro? What's going on?
It just sounds like an action feature from a Mask toy by Kenner.
Jesus Christ.
This plane turns into a motorcycle. No one survives, but it turns into a motorcycle.
Oh, man.
Jesus fuck.
So that was my stinker story.
Wow, no, that's a good one,
That guy's
though.
a stinker, yeah.
Man, cum doctor dies in plane crash because fucking wings fell off. Oh, my God. That's the kind of shit you would get in a Wile E. Coyote cartoon, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just don't want to see, Wile E. Coyote as an OBGYN. No baby is going to survive.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Shoot, no woman would survive.
Yeah,
right.
no, they blow
an anvil.
up.
Just Acme like stirrups.
I just picture him falling into her vagina, and it's that whistling sound when he falls off the cliff.
Little path.
Yes, the path of the... Oh, my God. Oh, Mike, what have you got?
So I was going to do one story, but I changed it because I forgot about this one at the last moment. It's not like super weird news, but it is interesting news. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it might actually, Kevin, give us a valid reason to live in the South like we do.
I thought the low cost of living was a pretty good one.
Well, this new device generates electricity from thin air, and not thin air, more of I would call it thick air.
With two C's?
No, it humidity. So apparently it
thick as in thick 2 C's air.
Yeah. So it uses humidity basically the same way like when clouds generate their electricity. Mm-hmm. It has a lot to do with the water molecules just, bumping uglies into each other.
God damn it.
So this material uses microscopic pores, and as the water molecules like brush up against the edges of the pores, they deposit a little bit of electricity.
Okay.
Well, you start scaling that up and you can have,
just shit
pretty
tons.
Power dense, thing. So,
okay.
And I figure the more humid an area is, this would not work very well in, say, Death Valley
or Utah.
Yeah. But in swamp ass Mississippi,
yes,
we could have like free energy.
Oh yeah. Louisiana, Mississippi, we're fucking set, man.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, this device does sound like it was invented by the former drummer of a heavy metal group that got a degree from an online university, but still.
Well, it's nothing new. Like, people have been looking at this because it's known that, fucking humidity. It's known that clouds do this for a while.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So, trying to harness this has been a course of study.
Right.
But I guess until recently, the engineering of small metamaterials has not been easy. It's not easy now, but it's getting easier. So, and this comes via the Smithsonian Magazine. If you want to talk about provenance of news sources, we just exceeded, we went from Kevin's Mysterious Universe to NBC to the fucking Smithsonian.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We've gone the full circle to we've done a complete 180 on credibility.
Yeah. So, a lot of scientists are like, well, and it's been I don't know if it's demonstrated or as a paper, let's see. I read it and then I forgot it.
You forgetted it.
I don't know if you're gonna try to find some new form of getting energy from the South, like you got to work a Waffle House in there somewhere.
Oh, it's humid where you find a Waffle House.
Like powered by Waffle House fights or something.
If we could, harness fucking, beer farts, we'd be, energy positive.
We would never need nuclear power or coal or anything.
So apparently the methodology would require tiny holes less than 100 nanometers in diameter. That's thinner than 1/1000th the width of a human hair.
Jesus.
Yeah, as the water molecules impasse, they brush against the edge, creating an electric charge imbalance between the layered chambers.
I'm really proud of you for getting that sentence out, by the way.
Yeah, a cup of rum has kind of made that difficult.
I'm proud of you, though, Mike. That was good.
It basically is, they call it a man-made cloud.
Yeah, so basically it's just... It's like water getting a balloon rubbed on it. It makes
so they did make a prototype. It's about the size of a fingernail, and it can only create a continuous electrical charge of about a fraction of a volt. But
but that's still something.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that can always make it better. And just
what you do
add
is
more.
You do layers, so it's got to pass through like multiple layers.
I mean, think about it. If you
if you have more water vapor.
Yeah. Well, if say you use this in a car, you had like a brick of this stuff, a brick, with like air channels through it and everything, but the size of an engine in a car with, the air from the front, blowing through it, that'd be a lot of, air and water and hopefully electricity.
Yeah.
Or just, a thing the size of your, air conditioner, maybe bigger than your air conditioner,
hooked up to your window to
this is how you get
That's
put
an air
on
conditioner.
a oil industry hit list. You start talking about ways to generate power without oil in cars.
Yeah, the guys that are doing this that wrote this paper, dead.
Yeah.
They're fucking dead. They're dead with a fucking solidified thing of oil stabbed in their chest.
The oil industry is like way down on their, political and hit list power.
I don't want to risk it, so man, do I love oil.
I love
oil
drinking gasoline.
Sucks balls. As much as I love, gasoline and explosions in cylinders. Yeah.
Fuck the oil industry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do
Mike's
you
saying
ever
that.
fill your tank and just like enjoy the smell of the gas?
Oh yeah, no, gas smells great.
I know when
Yeah.
I'm thirsty, I like to have a big cup of oil.
But I mean, and I like gas powered things, but I also recognize that they are not good.
It's gonna kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of gas
like,
powered things, how you doing, Kevin?
Shut up.
It's like, I love cake. I know cake will kill me,
Brave
but
stance.
I love cake.
No,
You
I
can
got
love
you.
things even though they will kill you.
Yes, like sugar
Yes.
and
God, I could
diet sodas.
I could
Or
just-
lions.
eat a bag of sugar right now.
No. You can say that about lions. I want to pet a cheetah so bad.
Aw.
I would pet a cheetah so much.
I mean, cheetahs, they purr. They meow. They're the only large animals that act like that, could be mistaken for a house cat
Oh,
if
no.
they were smaller.
I've seen some lions that look pretty damn cute.
Sure, but cheetahs act like house cats. They sound like house cats.
Okay.
They purr. They're the only ones that purr. We've
Good for them.
gone far afield.
Right. I'm sorry. I keep popping up with weird shit. My bad.
Sorry, hang on. Let me get a cup of oil and we'll get back on topic here. And
So, yeah, I mean, I think, the oil industry is your least of your concerns with this kind of technology. Just
Yeah.
think
the
bigger.
automotive industry.
No. Think of something more entrenched, something more connected, something more like your local power company.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can create power from nothing, you don't need, nuclear reactors, which I'm for nukes, but you don't need those. You don't
Just
need,
for hunting. Just for hunting. He just wants to
no,
so he
just for
can hunt
for
deer.
power generation and
Nuke
space
the whales.
flight. But
Nuke the whales.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to nuke something.
don't nuke whales. That's where all the sheep fuckers are. Sorry to all our Welsh listeners.
Ooh, that's a good cut.
God damn it. That's not getting cut. You keep saying that. I'm the fucking cutter. It's not getting cut.
No, I was saying that's a pretty good cut. I like that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
And no, I don't believe Welsh people fuck sheep. Or at least not more.
Not
anymore,
all of them.
Not any more so than the Scots anyway,
Or the Australians.
or the Australians.
Man, we're just killing our listenership. That's why we've dropped half of our listeners. So, anyway, point is...
But yeah, if anyone was going to come after you, it would be the
Big energy.
Your big energy. Your
Your power
Entergy.
plants.
I don't know of any other energy companies.
Atmos.
Well, maybe, but
No, they're involved out of state. They're involved in
Okay.
power as well.
yeah, here we only know them as the gas people, but I guess other places they
Atmos
do.
has a finger in a lot of utilities. Wow, that rum's really kicking in.
Yes, it is.
I'm just gonna say this talk about it's energy from nowhere reminds me of when they would sit around the table and get high on that '70s show and talk about the car that runs on water.
Okay, so this would technically be a car that runs on water, but,
Okay.
it's a little different. You can't just spray water into an engine and it burns.
But here's the thing. If it's a car that runs on water, then it would be a boat.
God damn it. Okay, thank you for actually going the extra mile and making reference.
That's a car
They
that
don't use Niles. They use knots. Sorry.
Yes.
navigates on water.
Well,
So,
good article, Mike.
yeah.
You got that out real well.
What would you do with all your free energy?
I don't know, probably masturbate and get arrested for... No, I'm just kidding. It's getting fucking dark. I don't know what I'd do. I don't make plans like that.
Like, I'd probably have the lights on all the time.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I'd have one room with every piece of electronics
Like,
running.
the house would just be like a meat locker. Just
I would have Christmas
fucking
lights year round.
61 degrees in the house. We're wearing coats in the house.
I could see that.
It makes me
Don't
last longer.
Don't need a refrigerator. Just leave the meat out on any flat surface.
Yes.
The cats are wearing fur coats
On top of their fur
on
coats.
top of
Dude,
their
if I
fur
could live
coats.
in a freezer, I would.
I know. Well, we're going to take a quick break and cover our next round of stories. So we'll be right back after this. Hey, David, you know what makes our show great?
What's that, Kevin?
No ads. You know what would make it better?
What's that, Kevin?
Ads.
What if, and I'm just spitballing here, we do ads for independent creators at reasonable rates?
How reasonable?
Overly. How about $2 per episode pre-roll?
That is almost too reasonable.
Might as well go for it. Let's send everyone to the contact page for Supernatural Selection.
SupernaturalSelection.pod.com/contact?
Exactly. Just have them scroll down to the Advertise with Us section for more information.
That sounds great. Now let's record the ad.
Kevin,
Yes, David?
we just did.
And we're back.
A dinosaur
thank you
story.
for-
And not only would you have to not charge your phones, you don't have to charge your sex toys either.
God damn it.
Oh,
And
mine are all
that
crank
is
operated.
the rest of the story.
I just want to make it seem like we're just continually like yelling
Talking.
about this stuff
Dick!
during the break.
Oh, the
Well,
illusion's
I
been
gotta-
shattered now.
Yep. Well, I got a story for us. And this
Do
is
you?
from a much more reputable source than mysteriousuniverse.org.
Mm-hmm.
coasttocoastam.com.
Fuck.
This story is by Tim Binal. I don't know.
Banal.
Binal. Binnal.
Banal if you're nasty.
Banal. Binal. Not
And there's
banal.
a video to this that I've not watched, but this is one of those things I've always found fascinating. Nun's exhumed body found to be intact 4 years after her death. And there is video of the body. And holy shit, get that thing away from me.
Now I've got to see this.
It looks waxy like a dead body, but yeah. There should be a link in the
Holy
Weekend Weird.
fuck.
Was she embalmed?
Well, I'll tell you what, 4 years later, it's not going to matter. So here's the deal. And I don't know the complete details, so let's take a look at the story. In an incredible story out of Missouri, the exhumed body of a nun was found to be perfectly intact despite having been buried 4 years ago. The remarkable discovery reportedly occurred last week when the Benedictine Sisters of Mary, Queen of the Apostles, which is located in the small town of Gower, set about moving the remains of its foundress, Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster, into the monastery's chapel. Initially intended to be a celebration of the woman who formed the order in 1995, the transfer took what some are calling a miraculous turn when they realized that rather than having been reduced to bones, her body was inexplicably incorrupt. Recalling the stunning moment when they discovered the condition of Lancaster's remains, Abbess Mother Cecilia marveled that, quote, "I thought I saw a completely full intact foot, and I said, I didn't just see that." However, upon further inspection, her suspicions proved to be correct, which led to the sisters bursting into cheers when they heard the news.
We got a foot!
We got Nita! They were all the more astounded when they learned that the puzzling preservation extended to her entire body, as well as a variety of items in her casket. Her crown and bouquet of flowers were dried in place, the monastery said in a statement. The profession candle with the ribbon, her crucifix, and rosary were all intact. Any thoughts so far?
Microplastics. That's what this is. You know, we have so much plastic in our blood that our bodies aren't going to decay.
Oh, shit. Even more remarkable was the complete preservation of her holy habit made from natural fibers. They wrote the synthetic veil was perfectly intact, while the lining of the coffin, made of similar material, was completely deteriorated and gone, adding yet another astonishing aspect to the story is that Lancaster's body was not embalmed. And her casket actually sported a sizable crack in the center, which allowed condensation to seep into the coffin and presumably should have sped up the decomposition process. According to Mother Cecilia, Lancaster is believed to be, quote, the first African-American woman to be found incorrupt.
Whoa, what? That sounds sus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
The first African-American woman to be found incorrupt. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't like the usage of the terminology incorrupt here.
Well, I mean, like...
No, incorrupt is a
not
term
decayed.
for when a Catholic body hasn't... Incorrupt is a term used for miraculously preserved bodies.
I just
like
don't...
that.
I don't like the emphasis here. It's very... No.
It's a legit thing. I mean, I've heard, like, anytime there's another nun that they found preserved like this, and she is an incorrupt as well.
I don't know. It sounds.
It should have been capitalized because it's like a form of miracle.
The term African American woman's doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Yeah, but it's the first time they've ever uncovered an African American Catholic woman that has been an incorrupted corpse.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're it's like it would be if it was the first, like, I don't know, trying to think of some other first.
Every other
let's dig a
phrase
hole
I
here.
can use.
Let's dig a hole here.
Every other phrase I can use to give an example of why this isn't that what I read isn't that bad would get us canceled.
I'm just saying, like what's the issue here? It's like,
it's talking about an incorrupted corpse. It's the first time they've discovered an African American woman that this has happened with.
Because it'd be like the I don't know. I'm trying to think of.
I know it's tough to think of a way to say it that doesn't get us in trouble, I guess. But anyway, the sisters were understandably uncertain as how to proceed after making the surprising discovery, with Cecilia observing, "You can't Google what to do with an incorrupt body." As such, they carefully extracted Lancaster's remains, washed away a thick layer of mold that had grown on them over the years.
I think that's the key part.
I think you're right. And then coated her hands and face with wax. That's sus. The nun's body is now on display at the monastery's chapel through May the 29th, which was a few days ago, when it will be encased in glass following a special ceremony.
Hey, y'all, you want to go see the dead nun?
What the fuck accent was that?
I don't know.
Man.
I was going for southern hick as hell, but I don't know.
Oh, y'all, you want to go see that uncorrupted nun?
They can't say a big word like that. What are you talking about? Y'all want to see that dead nun?
God damn it. No, okay, here's my problem. First off, I agree with you that the mold may have acted as an insulation to prevent her from decaying.
Yeah.
Completely agree. The wax thing.
That's why she looks all waxy, because
Yes.
they literally covered in wax.
Unless it's a wax dummy.
No.
And this whole thing is fake.
I don't think it's fake, but it's one of those things. It's confirmation bias.
Do they have photos of the nun before they dipped her in wax?
Yeah, in the video.
Oh, okay.
The body or her?
Oh, just a headshot of her.
Okay, so they don't have the body before they coat it in wax.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, well, that's sus.
Oh, and the other thing, like, I feel like it's a little uncomfortable to be displaying this.
Well,
that's
Catholics
what they do.
for you.
They're doing it.
Look, Catholicism is a death cult. We all know
It really
this.
is. It is so. I mean, you go around, every single thing about the Catholic Church is around a dead body or some dude's finger.
There are a lot of, like,
you
finger
saw Hellboy.
bones, yeah.
Yeah, Hellboy, exactly.
And it's not uncommon for, bodies, even if they're not embalmed. Like, if they're embalmed, of course, they're not going to decay right away. But even unembalmed, it's all down to, local soil conditions and stuff like that. So, I mean, to call it a miracle is obviously a little,
well,
I don't know.
In all fairness,
when
you're a bunch of fucking nuns.
Yeah.
And Mama Nun didn't rot.
Well, and here's the thing. The Catholic Church is going through a PR crisis, so they'll take whatever win they can get.
When have they not been? I feel like since I was a child, there's been just
they've been
nothing but PR crisis.
Like, ever since the Spanish Inquisition, they just have one, undeserved PR crisis after another. I mean, they just keep
undeserved.
That's a joke.
I was hoping.
What you call a joke, son?
That's a joke. I say that's a joke, son.
They just keep accidentally stepping on all those rakes placed right in their path.
By themselves.
It's like
they
were diddling boys.
It's like that scene from The Simpsons where Sideshow Bob just is trying to walk from the fucking from where he dropped in the road. It's just nothing but rakes. Yeah, just that. That's the Catholic Church from the time of the fucking Crusades to now.
Yes.
But like when I was growing up, everybody I knew was like, the Pope's the Antichrist.
Yeah.
And now it's like, the Pope touched a little boy. I'm like, I fucking bet he did. He's the Antichrist.
Well, I was kind of different because my family was quote-unquote Catholic.
I know a lot of quote-unquote Catholics.
So when we were living in Louisiana, I remember my mom drugged me and my brother to watch as Pope John Paul, sped past on the fucking interstate.
So he wouldn't get shot.
We literally, here's the Pope. There he's gone. That's it. That was it. It wasn't even a slow roll through.
Bless you, my child.
Yeah, no. It was just him literally going from the airport to wherever, I guess the Catholic diocese downtown or some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they
probably. On I-10, on an interstate. It wasn't even surface roads.
Yeah. Yeah.
So far we've had...
Was it in a car or the Pope Mobile?
I'm sure he was in a car, but the Pope Mobile was in tow.
Okay, good.
It was driving as well.
Right.
I just want to comment for a second, what a weird trajectory we've had tonight so far, because we had monkey people, cum doctor in a plane crash, free energy, and now we've got nun jerky. This has been a weird one.
It has been. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and then we get to the part, it's interesting. I love the whole idea of corruption because, okay, great, it does strengthen your faith, and then science is she was covered in insulating mold.
Nun mummy. Nummy?
Nummy muffin cocoa butter?
Yes.
Oh, God. So, David, what have you got for us now?
Okay, well, I've got a fun one here. This is from the European Space Agency. Who knew that they had one of those, right? No. So this
actually a lot
this
of
is
us.
a thought experiment called A Sign in Space. And I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of the overview here. ESA plays alien in art project pondering life beyond Earth. So in brief, a message will soon be received from outer space, and you are invited along with the global community to decipher it. Does its messenger, the ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter, count as extraterrestrial intelligence? Probably not. So until we hear from aliens themselves, the Martian Orbiter is playing the role of Green Man in a Sign in Space global art project. So this is a project developed by an artist named Daniela DePaulis in partnership with SETI, Green Bank Observatory, and the European Space Agency, and among others. That's kind of pausing like what happens when we make alien contact, what happens when we receive a message, and like can the global community like decipher it and that sort of thing. And it's again, this is all like it's basically a LARP. But I think it's really cool.
Right. No, it is.
So the public and experts from all countries and cultures are being asked to decode and interpret the message, the content of which has been kept under lock and key for months. If you think you've cracked it, submit your interpretation of what it means via a Sign in Space's open call. Whether or not you attempt to decode the message, how would you feel if we were contacted by a life form of extraterrestrial origin? How should we reply? So they've got this really cool little project, and the whole thing I'm thinking is like the secret message is going to probably be like drink your Ovaltine.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what's going to be
like the infographic down here has their satellite, but has an alien face on it. Like
it's a mask.
Spitting one.
Yeah.
Binary.
Yeah, I love that but if you notice that alien face has hooks on it that hook to the...
Yeah, I know.
I love that, actually.
And then they actually have the other website, which is the actual community site where people are going through, and it's cool. I haven't had too much time to like go through, but you can actually like look at the message now, and you can download the message. They have a Discord for this thing, and you can submit your stuff.
At the bottom, it says in a footnote, no science data or operational time was lost during TGO's Alien Roleplay Day.
Right.
We promise we did not waste millions of dollars doing this.
Maybe even billions.
Yeah.
So, the thought I had was, wow, these ARGs are getting really out of hand.
Yeah, this is all for the next Final Fantasy
This is like the
game.
next Marble Hornets.
Yep.
What's J.J. Abrams up to now?
Yep. It's gonna just be the next shitty Cloverfield movie.
Get the extraterrestrial version of Slender Man out of this.
I'm looking at some of the submissions, and I already see an Among Us among it. just a little God. Like a little Among Us dude says sus. That's great. I've got another fun one here. Let me go ahead and send you the picture.
Okay, is this another?
Yeah, this is this is for the community website to see what people are doing. Because if you go to a signin.space, you get to see like what people have been submitting, and you get to read up on the project and download the files and everything.
Microsoft Comic Programs remembers.
Yeah, just again, there's and that's volume 1. I'm looking at volume 2 now. Just another Among Us. That's great.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's fun. Now, here's a question. Like that. So here's a question. How would you, I'll start with Mike and move to you afterwards. Mike, how would you react to an actual alien message from space? How would you react?
So, if it was credible, as in, like NASA, all the space agencies were like,
if there was a massive press conference, we have received a message from an alien life form in the universe.
I wouldn't, unless like the world went to shit, they wouldn't really affect me day to day.
Yeah, but I mean, how would it affect you like mentally? How would you react?
I'd be like, finally, I guess. Be like, okay, I mean, it'd be like
also contingent on what the message is.
It'd be if you it'd be the same for me as if, Kevin, you opened the door one day and Bigfoot was standing there and gave you a kiss on the lips. It'd be like, I didn't expect this to happen.
About that.
I did not expect this to actually happen, but
I'm glad it did.
I'm okay with it. I guess.
Bigfoot's gentle.
Sure. Yeah. Well, David, how about you? How would you react?
I'm of two minds. I guess my first question is, realistically speaking, how long do you think this would be the top news story on cable news? I'd give
right
it
up
less than
until
24
Trump
hours,
said
honestly.
something.
Yeah.
Which is
I don't know.
depressing
I
as
give
fuck.
Give it 48 to 76.
I think it would make bylines for at least, a week,
Yeah.
as and only if there's like new like shit. Like if it's a message but we don't know what it is and we can't decode it, and like, we get stuck trying to figure out what it is, it'd die off pretty quick.
It's pretty different to think about.
And then
like
when
that.
and when we decoded it and it said drink more Ovaltine, it'd be like a little blip. And then,
Yeah.
The other thing I'm thinking about is, like, if this was a project that was launched during the 90s, can you imagine how much fun conspiracy theories would have been? Like, oh my God, it's disclosure.
Yes.
Nowadays, our conspiracy theories are like, reptilian politicians are eating our children.
It's a psyop.
Right?
It's a psyop because of the reptilians,
I just, like, I wish this was something that was going on during the 90s just because of, like,
when things were cooler.
Conspiracies were cooler then. Like, this is like,
Yeah.
you could look at it and go, oh, this is them prepping us for disclosure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it would have been like, decipher this code and you could get a free code red from Mountain Dew.
That was my favorite Mountain Dew until Baja Blast.
They didn't come out with that until after I was diabetic, so I've never actually had a Baja Blast.
Poor man.
But so here's my thing about the message. Number one, I would be ecstatic if they announced, and then I would be like, but what's it say? Are we fucked?
It's just alien for send
And-
nudes.
Actually, you know what? I have a bad feeling. It would be, we're all already dead.
It's like you up.
Like all other life in the universe is dead. You're the last.
Oh man, you're next. Just
imagine
you're
that-
next.
Yeah. You're next. Oh my God. And I imagine society will react like they did in The Hitchhiker's Guide. People running into houses, people running out of houses, screaming at the sky.
I'm going to suggest that everybody go follow the subreddit because it only has 103 members and it should have more.
What? Yeah, no. Go do that.
r/a sign in space, because this is a cool project. Like, I love to see stuff like this. I think this is very cool.
It's very creative.
So my final thoughts on this are, one, so this was created by a human, and however long it takes for other humans to decode it, you can just like multiply that by like 100 or 1,000 if it was an actual alien, because we really do not know how they would try to communicate with us. So we have suppositions like, oh, they would use math or, whatever, but we don't know. Maybe their idea of a reasonable baseline communication could be, I don't know, the color spectrum, because they're insects and the color spectrum is like the most important thing to their visual interpretation.
Dude, it's an entire species with synesthesia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
it's
don't
like,
know.
well, we deciphered the message and it says burnt toast.
It's just a various medley of colors, which the primary one is burnt umber.
Yeah. Oh God. So here's the other thing. Actually, I don't know what I was going to say. I'm going to cut that out. I don't know. It's a neat idea, but like, I really feel like actual contact with space would kill humanity.
Oh no. I mean, the distances are so vast that, if we did receive a signal, more than likely they probably have like off themselves way before we got their signals.
I will say this, one thing that would be really neat. New death cults.
Oh, there you go.
Every week there'd be a new Heaven's
Always
Gate.
something to look forward to.
And we could talk about it on this show.
Here's a question. If you started your own Heaven's Gate style death cult, what would be your fashion thing that you would have to have everybody wear? Because they had the white Adidas,
like coveralls,
right?
like Gizmonics.
Yeah, because they had the white Adidas.
Like Gizmonic style. coveralls, and good boots.
Okay, what about you, Mike?
Lederhosen.
Ooh,
Just
good
lederhosen with
choice.
the little shoes.
Now, see, I'm saying the jumpsuits because you could have color ranks, and then when somebody goes to the next rank, they have to buy new jumpsuits from you.
Yellows are no longer
Kevin,
allowed to speak to blues.
You're just Kevin. You're just describing paranoia.
Yes.
Because with their security ranks.
The Roy G. Biv security man is a
Well, no, it was a whole spectrum. It like started infrared and went all the way to ultraviolet.
Yeah. It was a great game if you've never played Paranoia. I haven't either, but man, it's got a great rule book.
I don't know. If I had to pick something, it would probably be like your underwear has to be warm from the dryer at all times. So every 15 minutes, you have to pull a new load of underwear from the dryer.
You know what? That would be comfy
and
at
that would
first.
be very, very annoying.
That would get old.
Yeah, no, it get old real quick.
What does farts count?
No.
They keep my underwear warm. Not very fresh, but warm.
No.
Dang it.
Yeah, sorry, man. That's not how it works. So, thank you for that, David. Mike, what have you got for your last one there?
Well, not quite my last. I have a little stinger there at the end.
Oh, great, because we've all got little segments.
But I have our weekly mushroom, or not weekly, but our semi-frequent mushroom news just for David.
Oh, good.
Apparently, doing shrooms might have improved a man's color blindness, doctor says.
Man, I want to get our colorblind friend and just pump him.
He's seeing all the colors now.
A man's experiment with psilocybin-containing mushrooms seemingly left him with long-lasting improvements in his red-green vision.
That does remind me, I need to get in touch with a friend of ours and ask him about something.
Yeah. But so, I mean, it says it right there on the tin. The article just goes into a discussion of what psilocybin is, which is just the psychoactive chemical in mushrooms. But they're being, extensively studied for potential in medical uses, especially in, neurological issues, which would seem to point if this, I don't know, is color blindness an actual deficiency of the eye, or is it
a mind?
Could it be a neurological thing,
or
could
there
they be
two types?
Yeah, they could be other. There could be both. I'm sure they've studied whether or not there are. I'm sure there are people that have like deficiencies in their.
God, could you imagine if you had both?
It's rods, right?
The neurological and mechanical.
Double folk.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
but I think it's rods are color vision, right? And the cones are black and white.
I think so.
Light. Yeah, rods are color, and I'm pretty sure at least some, there's a good portion of people that have deficiencies in their rods, which causes their color blindness. But maybe this is like rewiring your brain, and you just think you have better color vision.
See, here's the thing. I'm wondering if the one where like you see certain shades of gray and it looks like those chrome paint jobs, the chromio paint jobs. I'm wondering if that's the neurological version.
That could be. It would make sense if just like your wires are crossed and you're just seeing this whole spectrum blast of
your
colors.
brain's just like trying to like fill in a spot.
Yeah. It makes sense. We're just,
we're spitballing here.
Guesstimating here.
When you hear about stuff like this, like, it's just, again, like the theory has been discredited, but like the idea of like psychedelics having a role in human evolution, like maybe that's why we evolved the way we did. Like, again, it's largely discredited. I know that we wanted to talk about that for an episode at one point, but like, I think it is evidence that like things like that do really matter in the grand scheme of like how our species evolves.
So I can't, discredited, sure, in certain specifics, but you can't
wholesale.
Because, hell, look at alcohol. Alcohol, like, single-handedly allowed humanity to survive the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
And even, early urbanization just because of how shitty water supply was.
Oh yeah.
Like it enabled, like if it hadn't been for alcohol, we probably wouldn't have been able to like cross the oceans because of, you just, water.
Water, and also keeping people from mutiny.
Well, that too, but just in contaminated water in general.
No,
because sailors, those early sailors, they didn't drink water. No, it was mostly grog.
Yep, good old grog.
In fact, I read a recount recently. It could be apocryphal, but it was a ship. I can't remember what ship it was. I think it was a early U.S. Navy ship, but it left port with like 43,000 gallons of water or something like that. And, it had a count. It had a tally of all the stuff where it stopped. It stopped in like Barbados and took on so much rum. It left with this much rum, but it came back to port and was only 10,000 gallons of water short. Not short, but it had been used over the whole course of like a year, and it had never taken on more water at more ports.
Because nobody was fucking
fucking drinking the water.
Who wants lukewarm water
out of a barrel?
Out of a barrel. Oh,
woody tasting water.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, that just sounds
I'd
awful.
rather put a stick of butter.
You mentioned that, like those records of like what ships take on and everything like that. It reminds me of, there's a YouTube channel called Townsend's. Where where he covers stuff like that. So he does like the ship's biscuits and everything like that. But he goes through those documents. Yeah.
Hardtack. Yeah, that's a great channel, by the way. Hell yeah, I want to build me a shitty old kitchen.
Yes, I watched the hardtack one. It made me want to make hardtack.
It's kind of funny. Yeah, you kind of want to make.
But then I learned
for emergencies.
Like I saw salt pork,
and then I learned. And then I learned that that hardtack would just get bugs, and you just have to live with eating the bugs. And it's like, maybe not.
I'd say it's protein, man. It's protein.
I don't want to eat hardtack bugs. I know, but
pure protein.
And sure, I'd only be eating hardtack if, like,
the ship went down.
Yeah, like it was a hurricane. We're out without power for like a week.
But no, it's cool. Like some of the stuff that they make, it's or that he makes, it's like I kind of want to try that. Like he's doing one now where it's like if you time travel and you have to make a American food for George Washington, you decide to make chow mein. So how do you make chow mein in like 1700s America? Like with what ingredients? It's goofy, but it's fun.
Hot dog. Make our founding
Hey, you always got pig lips and assholes, so.
There you go, man. Just need a meat grinder and some intestines, and you can make a bun. So, yeah.
Ooh, this was one of the studies was from the University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Alabama.
Yeah.
There we go.
So,
there we go.
There
do
you
more
go.
mushrooms. That's the takeaway
Taking
from
drugs
this. Everybody should do more mushrooms.
Makes the world better.
Yep, everybody
just go in the forest or go into the woods, find a mushroom, pick it up, and eat it.
I've heard, no, that's a terrible idea. Yeah. What the fuck? Now, I have heard that it can help with depression and mental health.
I mean, there's a lot of
really
studies
would like to find out somehow.
Saying that, psilocybin's useful in medical. And that's the thing. A lot of these
big pharma
narcotics, illegal narcotics are starting to have, legit medical use because they're they have. Okay, so
you know what I don't want to do is pay Pfizer for psilocybin.
Yeah, or nobody wants to pay Pfizer for crystal meth, but here we have ADHD medications that are basically meth.
That's true.
I mean, there's no such thing as a bad drug. There's just abuse of drugs. Right?
I don't know if I'm willing to go that far because I think there are probably some drugs that are.
What about crocodile? Crocodile's a bad drug.
That is not a pure drug. That is a bastardized, that's like saying, battery acid's bad if you inject it between your toes. It's like, of course it is. You don't want to use it for that. Crocodile is not a pure drug like, LSD or,
PCP.
I'm trying to think,
Now, I understand what you mean. Stuff intended to be used as a drug.
Or just like the actual, pure chemical component. Because crocodile, as far as I understand, is just a bunch of shit thrown into a blender by a Russian junkie.
It's a drug
It's a drug cocktail.
Yeah.
Like literally just a margarita of...
Yeah.
It's like Drano and meth and heroin.
It's the only drug that when you inject it, it's got like a little umbrella.
Yeah. But THC, all these, they can have legitimate medical uses. Sure. It's just because of their stigma, they haven't been, researched for the past 50, 60 years.
Right.
Because, the war on drugs said that stuff's bad.
Yeah. So, basically, the stance of the show, drugs not so bad as people say.
Everything has its use.
No, absolutely. So, David, do you want to let's go into a couple of segments here, and then we'll do questions.
So,
okay, before we do X, can I do mine? Sure, because mine led to a little bit of another story, kind of like Mike's Mushroom Watch. My segment, of course, is called Read It Already. And this one was in r/cryptozoology. And the title of the thread was, "The Griggstown Cow is the most cryptid of all time." And I was like, what the fuck is the Griggstown Cow? And this is one of my favorite types of cryptids. In the 70s, let me see. Yeah, sometime around like 75 or so, this farmer's cow got loose and got into the floodplain of Griggstown, and I think it's Delaware. And for the next 30 years, the cow was infrequently sighted out near the river along the floodplains. And just nobody ever got a conclusive photo of it. No tracks were found. No cow pats were found. And it passed into legend. And people would just be like, legend of that old cow out there. And then in 2002, they found it. A park employee found a, quote, very old weather-beaten bull, which had fallen into a ditch and was unable to get out.
How long ago?
2002.
Oh, was it dead?
No, it was alive.
Oh, wait, it's been living in... how long ago did it fall in the ditch?
Oh, not long.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was
like
arthritic.
It's been in the ditch
it's
since
just living like a fucking Sarlacc in the Midwest.
Whoa. Anyway, so it was arthritic and weak, and they eventually got the cow out. But it was so old, it had been out on the fields, they figured out, for 30 years.
Damn.
Jesus.
It was like
just
older than 30.
Out living its best
just
life, I guess.
Living its best life, and they euthanized it on the scene because its quality of life was so bad. But this thing had become a local legend.
That's cool.
It's like, I saw the Grigston cow. And we have had something like that similar in Mississippi. Mike, have you heard about this?
What?
The Louisville emu.
All right, I'm out.
No.
See you. Fuck you nerds.
No. No, seriously. In Louisville, this dude, you know how for a while there was a big deal to like get emu and raise them for meat and eggs?
Oh, yeah. It was a big thing in like the 90s and 2000s, emu farming.
Yep. So in the 90s, this dude bought a couple of emu. One of them died, and I believe the farmer died or just moved and let the surviving emu out.
Just emu abandonment.
And it lived out in the wild for years. The local news would be, there was an emu sighting out there on Highway 25 this week. And just until finally some redneck, I think, shot it. But they had a cryptid emu in Louisville. And I love these kinds of stories. The idea of just these animals out there living their best life. It's like the Illinois kangaroo.
We should do an entire episode of these.
We should, actually. Animals that should not be there.
Or like, when a circus train overturns and like all the monkeys get out.
Oh, are we talking about the Pope?
I'm talking about the Rugrats movie.
Oh, fuck you.
Are we going to talk about the Colombian hippopotami?
yes.
Ooh, yes. We are so going to talk about Pablo Escobar's hippos.
Fucking breeding population of goddamn hippopotami.
The crack hippos.
Cocaine,
my bad. The cocaine hippos. But yeah, no, I found the Grigston cow. I was like, well, I feel better for knowing that this can still happen.
That's a fun little story.
30 fucking years. I know. It's
I like
great.
it. I like it. That's a good animal story.
So, yeah, the ghost cow. And the only reason it died was because it had lived its life up and people took pity on it. That's how you want to go if you're a cow.
I don't know. I think I'd rather be a bitchin' hamburger.
I don't know, man. Arthritic in a ditch. That's how I want to go.
Well, you're halfway there.
That could be arranged.
Yep. And we're not far from a ditch. So, David, I think it's time for X to give
I got
it
a
to
fun
us.
one for us here. This is on X, the 4chan Paranormal Board. The picture in the initial post is Van Gogh's Starry Night. Beautiful painting, one of my favorite paintings. Here is the post. It's from an anonymous user. There is a planet in the confines of this universe which is being prepared to house non-ascending humans. Conditions on this planet are inhospitable. We do not know who the controllers of said planet are and what their specific objectives are. The souls of the humans that will be sent to that place will have to start over. Don't forget what you learned here. The time has come.
Okay.
Yeah, go
Can
for
I
it.
give you my thoughts? First off, this sounds like Mormon theology. Second, it sounds like Earth.
Yeah, so
we're already there.
So I'm gonna pull up some reply here, but what do you think, Mike? Like what?
I think I went a bit cross-eyed from you saying all that.
This sounds like if someone came up to you and said this, you would like step away from them.
Yeah, you would.
They try to
what does
hit
it
you
say?
a pamphlet.
You would slowly
what
back away.
does it say about me that I seek this shit out for this show?
I'm gonna slowly back away, holding my hands up defensively, and say, "Sir, this is an Arby's. Please leave."
So the first reply literally just says test, but the second reply directly to it is this related to the Galactic Federation relocating non-ascending souls? Someone asked for them to elaborate. They say, if I'm recalling correctly, Earth humans who are disqualified for ascension due to genetic impurity will be transferred to an Earth-like planet and have their ability to procreate removed.
Has this got to do with the Ashtar command?
Might. It's
because it really sounds like the Ashtar Federation.
Not qualified for ascension due to genetic impurity will be inability unable to procreate, which is kind of.
That sounds a lot like some eugenics.
Yeah,
it sounds like West Virginia during the 30s.
So the reply to that comment that I just read is interesting. The Earth is on its way to the fifth dimension. This means that living beings that are adequate energy will be able to stay here and continue on your spiritual path. The souls who do not make it will be transferred to this planet and will continue on their way from beginning to the beginning. Perhaps 1,000 years remain until the next ascension event. I don't know the terms to incarnate on said planet, so I don't know if they will be allowed to reproduce among themselves, but we must remember that planets are always administered by aliens, and I'm sure the masters of this planet are looking forward to the arrival of these humans who didn't make it in the first place. This sounds like Heaven's Gate.
I was gonna say, is this from like the new Star Ocean game?
I don't know, man, but it sounds like Heaven's Gate.
It really, really does. What was the term Applewhite used for what was going to happen to Earth? It was going to be recycled. Yeah, that I don't like the sound of this at all. It sounds like some Nazi
it does.
shit.
I do like one of the replies is, "Who's to say we aren't on that planet already?" You know, just that blows your mind. But no, like it starts off kind of like a goofy little thing, but then you kind of start reading further on, and it's like, ooh, this gets dark.
Yeah, no, it was starting dark to me.
Yeah, the non-ascending humans, I suppose that would be a red flag. Like, well, then who does not get to ascend? How do you determine who doesn't ascend?
Yeah.
Oh, is it racism?
Yeah, who decides that?
So.
Pretty much.
So there's not a whole lot. Like, I think this is just someone trying to LARP, and, like, it's not panning out. A lot of slurs in response, which is always fun.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. About his sexuality.
One reply, it's bullshit.
Well,
you should join the revolution against these false gods. They have enslaved our people.
Oh, this is where he starts talking about his Baptist
Probably.
church.
So again, the pickings were a little slim, but it looked like this was the start of a LARP that just didn't pan out, which makes me a little sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the nut just ain't there.
Yep. Because the guy that gives you the nut went down in a plane.
Callback.
Well, he already deposited them nuts.
Yeah, it's true.
So I got a little thing.
Okay.
We're going to call this segment "Shit Mike Found."
God damn it. Okay, what shit did Mike found?
So it was a picture. I don't even remember where I found it. But it's just a picture. And I vetted this. This is an actual thing that happened.
Oh, God, yeah.
But it was a picture of like several, they're Nigerians. And it's Nigerian and one of them's holding like a wrestling belt and, speaking on stage. Nigerian prophet, I'm going to butcher this name, but Odumiji shows off the belt he won after defeating Satan in an international spiritual warfare championship. According to the prophet, he went alone to hell and fought Satan behind closed doors.
Vince has a new angle.
Do you know what I like about this? There weren't even witnesses to the fake fight.
Yeah.
In hell.
This is like one-upping Charlie Daniels.
I went down to Georgia and I kicked the devil's ass.
No, the devil came down to Georgia, but I went to fucking hell.
And I beat him.
Took the
And I
championship.
got a championship belt.
Will you face me, Satan, here in the square
Steel cage
circle?
match, and the bars are going to be really hot because we're in hell.
Hell's bells, it's Kane.
Undertaker shows up.
Yep, not dong. Just right.
Holy shit!
I gotta start
I'd
watching
watch the
wrestling.
hell out of that fight. The man versus Satan.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I want to see. Oh, and Andre the Giant comes back as God's champion.
Lucifer, the devil's going down.
Oh man.
It's okay. I help you beat him. Yeah. Oh God.
Did you get the reference, Kevin?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Mike.
No one else will.
Got it. It's an in joke.
Yes, I did. You didn't say anything, so
I was stunned into silence. You would bring it up where
You know what?
humans
We need to
could
bankroll
hear.
like cryptid wrestling as a concept and like make money that way.
I think we should. Oh my God, that would be great. So
the CWC, the Cryptid Wrestling Confederacy. Yes.
Ooh.
I was trying to.
CWC.
I got that on like the hop there. I was like,
You
the
got-
Cryptid Wrestling.
And it inverts the WCW.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was the superior wrestling
you-
organization.
I call
You
Bigfoot.
put
Wait, no, that'd be like a really big suit. I call whatever. I don't know.
I call Yoshi. I don't give a shit.
just a Sasquatch comes in a luchador mask, like, I can't tell what he is.
Could you imagine that'd make an awesome
Fuck yeah,
video
man.
game.
Oh, crypto wrestling?
Yeah.
Cryptid wrestling, not crypto. Sorry. Forget. You can't do that anymore
They
without
can't
being
say
a douche.
they can't put the O on it, otherwise people think you're just a dude bra trying to like sell NFTs
To the moon.
to the moon. Sky's the limit.
Yep. To the moon.
Awesome.
So we got some questions.
Okay. Answers maybe not forthcoming, but you know, we'll see.
Let's see. Okay, Sam asked you a question earlier in the month and we missed it. So let's start with Sam here. To you, David, in reference to historical dragons being dino ghosts, does that make Beowulf the first Ghostbuster?
That's a fun one. I like that. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it makes sense. I mean, I don't know that Grendel was really...
Yeah, I don't
Dragon.
know. Like, I've seen different
But,
interpretations
you know.
of the figure, but like any.
I guarantee you his mom didn't look like Angelina Jolie. I read that goddamn book.
Yeah, no, I'd go for that. That sounds fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Just remember the comic Grendel. I was very confused about, you know, Beowulf.
Yeah. Oh,
Mythology.
man. Matt Wagner is such a talented motherfucker. But yeah. So, supernatural selection question from Ghost Forge. This is his dad's question, actually, because his dad has become a listener. So,
Nice.
hello, Ghost Forge's dad. That's the only name I got for you. Sorry. Do you think the government is using the fact that the History Channel show Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch is diving deep into the science and the anomalies of the place in order to facilitate disclosure in a manner we're more likely to trust and accept? Like, basically, are they using the show to soften us up for when disclosure
It started
happens?
all the way back with Leonard Nimoy and In Search of.
You know what? That was a best fucking show. You know, did you know they brought that show back a few years ago? And do you know who they fucking got to host it? Zachary
hell yeah.
Quinto. I was like, you motherfuckers, you even got the other Spock.
What is it about number ones and their
Oh,
going
yeah,
on to
Jonathan fucking Frakes.
host paranormal shows?
You know who doesn't do that? Chicote.
Well, I don't think he did anything. He was kind of like a poo-poo head.
I guess. At least he came back for Prodigy. Anyway, point is, David, how likely do you think that is?
I want to believe it's like the government trying to prep people for this shit. But I think it's just some producer at Discovery is like, you know how we can make a really cheap show and stretch it out for several years? Yep.
Bring money. Yeah. Mike, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, the same. I think there's a lot of conspiracy about, you know, governments meddling in media, and it's just so profit focused. I don't see it.
Yeah, see, I don't either, because this is like that same theory that Close Encounters of the Third Kind was like based on actual events that were fed to Spielberg in an attempt to get the truth out in some form. And I'm like, then why even do it?
Yeah, it's like that whole Men in Black joke about like the tabloids being the source of the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If something's going to be
Yeah.
revealing something, I don't think it's going to be a slick Hollywood film. I think it's going to be like a shitty documentary I watched 3 a.m. on Pluto TV, where it's a guy Yeah, where it's
Or
like
usually-
Aggie Nost talking about something with like a rear projected planet in the background.
Or it's going to be a video that somebody put their text into a text-to-speech generator. And that is why the aliens came down. Yeah, no, it's going to be something like that. I don't believe in that. I am going to give them credit, Ghost Forge and his dad credit, because they brought up Wormhole Extreme from Stargate SG-1, which is one of my fucking favorite things they did, where that alien had repressed memories of the Stargate team and wrote a TV show about them. It was like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And I have an animated GIF I posted in there underneath of them all leaping at the camera. 4 excellent heroes with an extraordinary new sci-fi series. It's basically the exact same thing as Stargate SG-1, but with like a worse budget.
It's like Stargate SG-1, but done by the
Star Trek, the original series.
No, I mean a little bit, but more
Doctor.
like the Hercules the action pack, like Hercules, Legendary Journeys, or Xena.
Jack of all trades was the superior show.
That campy,
yes,
almost parodying.
Yeah, which is why Bruce Campbell was in all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude, what was the one he did? The kind of Western?
Yep. Briscoe County
Briscoe
Jr.
County Jr. Yes.
Oh, that was such a good show. Fuck. Wrong series to
We're gonna
talk
do a
about
Bruce
it, but
Campbell
God, that's a
special
good
on the
show.
distraction hole.
There you go.
We have to. Holly asked, did anyone forget to bring a towel? I did not bring a towel on Towel Day. I did wear a hitchhiker's shirt with a Don't Panic pin.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't observe the holiday. I'm not religious.
Yeah, no, but
David,
oh yeah,
did you
when
do
I
anything for
realized it was
Day?
Towel Day, I made sure to like have a towel nearby, and then I posted Towley a few times because I love Towley.
Kevin,
That's true.
You buried the lead there. Not only did you wear a shirt and a pin, what did you bring to work with you?
Well, that was a different day.
That was a different day. I thought that
It was
the
a
same
completely
day.
different day because
You
that
sure?
was because I brought I have a 3D printed The Hitchhiker's
thought that
Guide
was the
that I
same
brought
day.
the day before yesterday,
Oh,
but
okay.
Towel Day was the 25th.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the same day.
Nope. But I did like that are you wearing a pin and a hitchhiker shirt? And I said, yes. And you gigantic nerd.
Yes, I did.
Let's see. Fryhide has a question. And this is a good one. I haven't had any time to think about this. Assuming we're in the darkest timeline.
Which we probably are.
Yeah, from the many worlds theory.
I don't know. I could think of darker times.
Sure, but it's not a good one. What's something positive about this universe that probably wouldn't exist in the brightest timeline?
Yeah, okay. So part of the reason we have conspiracy theories is because like the world is kind of a weird, dark, illogical place. And
we have to have
but the thing
patterns.
is, without conspiracy theories, we wouldn't be able to get together and like talk to each other every week. Which I like.
This show
Yeah.
would not be here.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Mike, what have you got?
Plethora of Trump jokes. I don't know.
I feel like struggle against horrible things breeds some of the best stuff. And seeing people fight against the horrible things that happen, and not even just the successes, but just hearing stories about people that fought against this godforsaken timeline we exist in.
I thought
It gives me hope.
I thought of another one.
What's that?
More countries in the UN.
That's true.
We got they're trying to get Sweden and Finland, Are they the two that are trying to get in now, or did Finland already get in it?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention.
I know Sweden's one of them, and like Turkey's blocking one of them. But we already had another one like a few months ago get, in.
That's cool. But I just feel like we get some of the best of humanity out of these situations.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. The good things are that much better.
Well, yeah. It's the idea that, like, in the brightest timeline, everything just kind of runs together. But in this timeline, you have the extremes, but it just makes the extremes, when they're positive, that much better.
The bad thing is, I picture the brightest timeline as, like, being the opening to the
Everything
Lego
is
movie.
Awesome. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like, hey, got my coffee, and here it's like, I got up today and I put forth the effort and
tell you what,
yeah, I don't know.
Every day that you do the dishes is another victory.
You know what? That's kind of part of what I'm getting at, but also, like, Weinstein's in jail. That's a good thing.
Like how boring would the like bright timeline be anyway? I got up and my, robot gave me a blowjob and I didn't have to go to work, so I like played, Tears of the Kingdom for,
You know what?
20 hours.
Here's something.
Was fed pizza by my robot.
Who then gave me a blowjob?
Gave me another blowjob. And I went to bed.
There's a lot of sex the last 2 weeks on this show. Yeah. And you know what? Next week is going to be even worse.
Just change it to the supernatural horny show.
Because, man, I've got a book.
Yes, he's been regaling me with the book.
And just a heads up, next week we're going to be talking. So Ghost Forge, Kick-Astron, you guys can be happy. Next week, we are going to be talking about Lacerda. We're finally
mattresses.
We're finally going back to lizard tits. But I also have this book called The Reptilian Sex Agenda. And it is the horniest goddamn thing I've ever read in my life. I mean, like, I'm sitting here going, this is supposed to be about the lizard people. It's actually kind of hot. Holy shit. This is like, I don't know. It makes Chuck Tingle seem fucking like conservative.
Have you ever actually read Chuck Tingle?
I haven't, but like with a name like Pound in the Ass by the T-Rex, I don't know, man. Anyway, that's it for this week.
Huzzah.
Hooray.
Tune in next week to, like, I don't know,
lizard
horny,
tits.
I guess.
Yeah, tune in next week for Horn. So,
David, I should be updating my comic this weekend, cosmic-.com. Very excited about it. I'm pushing myself.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then I'm also doing commissions. I've got the next couple of weeks open. So if you want to hire me to draw stuff for you, now's the time. So there we go. You can just go to my website, hpcomics.com, click on the commissions link, and learn all about it. So, yep.
There you go. Very cool. Mike, you got anything you want to plug?
The other podcast.
The Distraction Hole,
which we skipped this week, but
we did. We had reasons,
but personal stuff, it gets in the way. When this isn't our primary job, we got to do it as
life
as
happens.
Convenient. So
yeah. So,
but tune into that where we talk about stupid shit.
Yeah,
not as important life or death shit as
Oh yeah, no, it's just
UFOs.
It's basically Bigfoot. Just Mike and David shaming me for not liking things.
Well, like more stuff, and we wouldn't have to
shame back. Come on.
Well, fuck you then. No. So, I'm just going to plug that as well. And also, I'm not sure when, but coming soon, my new music show will be on Deviant Behavior Radio. Radio Free Dingo.
It eats your babies.
Radio Free Ding Dong.
Music to eat babies by. So, that's it for this week. You can find all of our stuff at supernatpod.rocks. That is supernatpod.rocks. You can find links to the Patreon, our Discord, our blog, which I'm going to start updating again. David, I need you to start writing some articles.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I mean, I can't pay you, but, whatever. It's all free. And you can find us on, what's that thing called? Mastodon. At supernatpod at horrorhub.club. And you can find links to our individual mastos there. Some of us are more active than others.
Me. Yep. I'm the other that doesn't do shit on there.
Yeah, well, Mike's not much of a social media guy.
No, it's not a poster, more of a, I don't know,
reader and collector of pornography.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Shit. Porn again. So, that's it for this week. We'll see you next week for Lizard Tits. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye.
I mean, well, we're just people. We get horny.
We do get horny, and the tits are there on a lizard. I didn't put them there. They're just there.
I understand we'll hear all about them being there.
You're also going to hear about lizards rimming assholes.
Oh, boy.
That'd be great.
Yeah, don't listen with your mom unless she's really into that.
Yeah, Ghost Forge Dad, don't listen.